What is going on, YouTube? This is Daxon here, Weaver Family Farm. So, today I'm going to be reviewing this 799 piece professional tool set. Just got it out of the box that I set over there. That's trash though, so I don't need that. First things first, the case that is sent with it. It's definitely made out of all pretty well plastic. Little metal fasteners here holding it together. You have your two short legs, they're right there, and then you have wheels so you can actually, we should be able to get this on the ground. So you have your handle here, and this should, yeah, slide up. And that pulls up pretty tall too, so especially if you're tall, I'm 5'10", and I'm having to bend my arm quite a bit to actually reach it this high, but it'll be good by the time we start leaning over like this. So I got this because anytime I ever have like a friend or anything, I do a lot of woodworking and stuff myself anyway. Anytime I have a friend or family member or something, you know, might need help, something, I always have to go around and gather all the tools, or I have to use the tools I have, and if I wanted to keep them in a bag, I'd really have to have two of everything, so it just becomes a pain, and I don't want to anything to have to be a pain just to go out of my way to be able to help somebody. I want to make it as easy as possible, and I'm sure this is probably the most likely reason of someone buying this is to be able to take it, so you don't have to go out of your way extra to gather a whole bunch of tools and figure out what you need, especially if you got to go quick. But anyway, let's go ahead. That's enough of me jibber jabbing. I'm going to unlock it here. All right, so it looks like these can actually be hung off the wall. I noticed that right off the bat, but I would assume that's what those are for, is for screw holes if you wanted to put this on the wall, I guess, hold your tools. There's a very thin layer of foam inside of here. Not that that matters. Here's some hinges. The hinges don't feel like they're very strong, so this definitely, I would not put too much weight into this. Again, not a big deal. It's more of the convenience of having all these tools. Let's flip around and check out this first one. So I'm gonna go grab a knife real quick so I can cut this plastic off. Looks like the mail was a little rough on them. It seems like anytime you buy tools though, they're always all over the box. It's not a big deal. We can get that taken care of. I'm gonna cut the plastic off, and I'm going to put the wrenches back kind of in their spots so everything's not here in a pile. Actually, one thing real quick before I do that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lay these all out. Kind of using the car hood here as my shelf. I wanna lay all this out so you can see everything in one shot right out of the box. Some little gloves, zip ties. I assume that they are counting the zip ties as part of the 799. So there's 300 zip ties, it looks like. So that brings you down to $699, $599, $499. Not saying there's not a lot of tools in here, but that looks like a, I don't know, I'll have to be able to tell when you open it. Maybe something that goes around your waist, probably a tool belt. And this is gonna be your sockets and stuff like that. And the next layer down here is all types of screwdrivers, bits, micro screwdrivers. Those all stayed in there pretty good. And this is probably the last thing. All right, interesting. So glue gun stuff. All right, I'm gonna go through all that here individually. You can see how deep the case is. It's probably, I don't know, 6 inches deep to hold all this. And each one of these are probably about an inch or so thick. Inch and a half maybe. So right here, full shot of everything. Kind of slowly walk around so you can see it. There's the pull case. 4 containers full of tools, the gloves, the 300 zip ties, and the belt. So now what I'm gonna do is, like I was gonna do before, cut off the plastic, and let's start checking these tools out. I got the tool belt unwrapped, and it is a tool belt. All right, back to the next part of the video. We're gonna start with this tray first. So we have all of our wrenches, and they kind of have it interesting. They have smaller in the middle, and they work their way out. Basically, I'm kind of going to show you the pattern. So it goes 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then it goes up to 17. I'm not sure why there isn't a 16. Maybe that's because it's never used, possibly. I'm not sure. I don't do a whole lot of things with bolts to where I need wrenches and sockets. Don't get me wrong, I use them. I just don't use them as much as I do drills, screwdrivers, pliers, things like that. So we do have a nice assortment of different kinds of pliers. 5 different ones right here to be exact. So I'm gonna pull up these first ones. They got a sharp bite on them, so those would work good for cutting fencing wire, even electrical wire if you needed to. It's a crescent wrench. It's nice and greased, so it's slick operation, which is great. Looks like I need to get that closed back for it to fit in its spot here. Some large pliers, channel locks, whatever you call them, and they do slide up and down like that to adjust your width of your bite. I'm not sure how I had that setting in there, but that's okay. Then we have some little needle nose pliers, and then just your standard pair of pliers. All right, next we're going to go over this tray here full of our our sockets. So you have a large socket wrench and a smaller one. We have a screwdriver handle to be able to attach our sockets to. There's a nice bendable. This one will flex, help you to reach in harder areas. We have a medium extender that'll help you get your further reach when using your sockets. You have this one, it looks like it bends. Yeah, it swivels in multiple directions in 2 different spots at least there. There's a short extender. Here's some larger sockets here. These are probably, or at least this one looks like one that would help, in most cases, take lug nuts off your car wheels. This could be used as a small brake bar, I assume. Be able to put our sockets on here. Let's see, this would be an adapter and or an extender. And here is another one of these to be able to twist once by hand. I guess you wouldn't really consider this a breaker bar. Breaker bars are a lot bigger. I guess so this, you'd be able to use the sockets and being able to turn it like that. You know, of course you can put them on the screwdriver, but if you're working with something that's more difficult, maybe in a harder place to reach, you would want to use these. We have all of our socket sizes here. Let me spin this around so you can see the numbers the right way up. Starts down here at 4. I'm going to assume this is millimeters. It goes up all the way to 30. Now these don't feel what I would consider like heavy duty, like commercial, but definitely heavy enough to do probably about anything a normal person is going to need to do. It's like a kind of a lightweight metal, but I think that goes over everything there. I guess I can take these out. Looking nice. It's kind of hard really to test the function of tools all and combine into a video. I'm more or less trying to make this video to show you exactly what you get and a nice view of everything that you do get. Here's our large socket wrench. And I guess I didn't point this one out earlier. It's a larger version of one of these just to help swivel and get into tighter areas. We have this nice tool belt, like that. It would go around you. It's just got a typical buckle. Has all different types of slots down through there to hold tools of different sizes. Oh, almost dropped that off the car. Should be able to slide in there. just like that. Be able to hold them on your waist where you're up on a ladder or on the go. This should be able to put screws or bits or anything in, and you wouldn't be able to lose them because it does completely zip. Now I'm going to go over and look at this box that's full of screwdrivers, all different sizes and types of screwdrivers. So we have our micro screwdrivers here. There's 6 of them. These are good, you know, typically with like eyeglasses or working on computer parts or small electronics. Nice little assortment of Allen wrenches. Here's 2 different assortments of bits. You have your pretty well all your star bit sizes, your flathead, your Phillips. It's a nice hand screwdriver, and this looks like it's a socket or a ratcheting screwdriver to where you can work it like you could a socket wrench. Here is a interesting PSI tire gauge. There's a bit extender for a screwdriver or a drill. You could use these in a drill, of course, as well. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total hand screwdrivers. Starting with a large Phillips and ended up down here. The smallest one is a small flathead, but there's multiple different sizes of each one. Here is, I bet this is some kind of a tester here. If I had to guess, especially since there's a tag wrapped around it. I'm trying to see what it says. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. If I find out, or leave a comment below this video on YouTube if you have any idea what that might be besides just a weird looking screwdriver. You have your 2 short ones here, flathead and Phillips. These are kind of interesting looking. No metal involved, or there's metal on the inside. But anyway, there's a Phillips and a flathead, and then you have a really long and larger end of a flathead. So that concludes everything in this one. We have one more to go over. And of course, earlier I already showed the zip ties. These are 2.5 by 100 millimeters, and there's 100 of them. Those ones are actually shorter, so they should go over here. Or no, they're 2.5 by 100 as well. They looked shorter, but, and these as well. So there's 300 of these the same size. I think it would have been kind of cool if they had included different sizes, but it is what it is. And then there's these nice, these are decent. I've got some of these free with other tools I've got, like an auger set and stuff. They help grip with the little rubber bubbles on them. They also can somewhat help you keep warm. They're definitely not waterproof, so don't try to get anything with too much liquid with these. It'll just soak right on through. It's just cloth. All right. Measuring tape, hot glue gun. They have 2 hot glue gun sticks in here, which wouldn't get you very far, but of course you can always put more in there. They're pretty inexpensive. We have a wire stripper and crimper. Nice heavy duty. I think these are considered heavy duty. Scissors, not ones you'd normally see in like someone's office. Oops, that's my knife. This did not come in here. This is the nice one that they included. Much nicer than the cheap crap ones I have. Oh yeah, mine are hard to open and close too. That's a nice box knife. Get that back in there. We have a hammer. It's not tiny, but it's also not huge. I would consider this probably just a standard sized hammer here. Kind of a unique shape to it. Most hammers are straight, seems like. See the head of this hammer kind of looks a little odd to me. Like this was just glued on there, or maybe the rubber is just glued to fit over the metal in here, because there's definitely got to be something else in this besides just plastic. If I can get it turned around here. And then we have 2 little bitty clamps. Wow, they're actually somewhat hard to open. There's quite a bit of tension. The looks are deceiving on them. We have a small level. Wow, this is extremely lightweight. I almost can't even feel I'm holding it, which is fine. I mean, a level doesn't need to be heavy. That's good if it's not heavy. In most cases, there's still plastic on here. You have your 3 different sets of bubbles, and then also, which is always nice, I like how you can see through the side of it. Not all levels do that. It's pretty typical anymore, but not, like I said, not all of them. Here's a little bit of a measuring in centimeters and inches on the ruler. And then it looks like the last thing in our box here, these are probably where the other count of pieces come from. Trying to get a little closer to it. Looks like it was trying to come open maybe in the mail, as we was talking about earlier. So we have some of these drywall. I can't think what they are. This helps you hold screws in the drywall better than just using a screw. You have probably 10 small Phillip head screws. You have some really small nails, some thumbtacks. I believe these are picture hangers. And then probably 20 or 30 of these nails that are a little bit larger. I believe I went over everything in as much detail as I could offer. Like I said, it's kind of hard to tell how good a tool is. A lot of this is lightweight stuff that you're going to want to be using around the house. You could easily, I'd say, probably pay up to $200 for this. Probably I gave $169 for it there on Amazon. Of course, as time goes on, prices change on stuff. And something else I just noticed I forgot under these wire crimpers is there's a small roll of electrical tape in there, so that can definitely be handy as well. Go over here, I can get my other stuff, put it in there. I'll take the gloves and the zip ties and this belt. I probably won't keep this in here, or I might, I don't know. I guess it depends. But I probably won't, you know, if I'm just using this occasionally around the house or going places to help someone else do some basic things, I probably won't need this. But it doesn't hurt to have it in there. I just noticed too that there's 2 little keys here, so you can lock that. Cool. All right. I'm gonna close it up. Hopefully everything will fit back. There's something hitting here. I think these have to be spun the other way. Just and so yes, one of them does go up in here. And I can't do it with one hand very well. Maybe get this side over here. So metal clasp spin around, and that'll hold it. Hopefully when it closes. Now I'm not sure if all this stuff's gonna be able to stay in there, especially with the ride, but well, it actually did. Get this line up. Usually you have to push down with one hand. I'm gonna see if I can block it with one hand. So far, so good. Nice. And that's that. Thumbs up if you found this video helpful at all. Leave comments below this video on YouTube if you have any questions or suggestions or comments or anything else to leave. I'll try to answer them the best possible I can. I'll leave a link in the description of this video on YouTube or in the comments of the seller I purchased this from. I can tell you I had some questions initially where I reached out to the seller and they were very helpful and friendly with everything I asked them. So definitely having a good seller and someone that's friendly and honest with the things they sell is very important when it comes to products. Thanks for watching. See y'all later. Bye-bye.